Rolling intro. Thank you, Ashley. In the second half of a Roanoke Lacrosse doubleheader here at Donald J. Kerr Stadium tonight, the women just faced off with Lynchburg, and now the men will take the field. The Maroons sit at 5-3 on the season, coming off a 21-13 win at Hampton-Sydney back on Saturday. Hello, everyone. I'm Nick DeSanctis with TJ Kemper from Donald J. Kerr Stadium in Salem, Virginia. The captains of Christopher Newport have come across the state to take on now the 13th-ranked Maroons.
Roanoke is coming off an 8-goal win against the Tigers on Saturday. Rich Lackland finished the day with 4 goals and 2 assists. Great game, while Jeff Keating added another 3 goals and 3 assists for a total of 6 points. In goal, Mike Hardon allowed 12 goals while making 13 saves. After a tough loss to Lynchburg a week before, it's good to see the Maroons back on the winning track, and now they have a chance to get rolling for the rest of their season tonight against a 3-4 CNU team.
CNU sitting one game below 500. They are not a member of a recognized lacrosse conference. USA South, of which Christopher Newport is a member, does not sponsor men's lacrosse, so it puts their team in an interesting position, really, with no conference games. All of their games are considered out of conference. Every other team can schedule them then as out of conference. Being in Virginia Beach, they're not far from Virginia Wesleyan. It's a team that Roanoke College as a whole, the athletic department, is very familiar with. We've seen CNU a lot in soccer. We saw them in basketball, too, with the women's in the NCAA tournament a few years ago. Clouds are starting to roll in here at Salem, hoping the rain will hold off. The lights are set to click on soon here at Donald J. Kerr Stadium. This is the Roanoke Lacrosse pregame show. We'll be right back with tonight's keys to the game. This is Roanoke College Lacrosse on 1240 AM ESPN in Virginia.
After Hobart had eliminated Roanoke from the NCAA tournament in 2 of the previous 3 seasons, Roanoke College finally got its chance for revenge and upended the hosting Panthers with a 1-point victory in the 1978 NCAA Division II Lacrosse Championship. In a game played before 4,200 fans at Hobart's Boswell Field, Roanoke jumped out to a 7-6 first-quarter lead, but Hobart bounced back with 5 goals in the second period to take an 11-9 lead at halftime. In the second half, the Maroons' defense stifled the high-octane Hobart attack and outscored the Statesmen 5-2 in the second half. With the game knotted at 13, head coach Paul Griffin ran a trick play to set up the winning goal. In the title game, John Sullivan made 18 saves. Over 3 games in the tournament, he stopped 43 shots and was named the tournament's most valuable player. 5 different players were named to the All-American squad. Roanoke completed that season with a 12-2 overall record, with the lone losses coming at the hands of Division I powers North Carolina and Towson.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Roanoke College, timeless and true. Smart and solid, practical and professional, making discoveries about yesterday, creating visions for tomorrow, lifted by a winning college spirit, forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College, classic for tomorrow.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to Kerr Stadium as we get geared up for the Captains and the Maroons. It's time to take a look at tonight's keys to the game.
Nick, I talked to Coach Pilot, and he thought his team played great Roanoke lacrosse on Saturday. The team ran and utilized the fast break, which is our first key for tonight. Roanoke needs to make quick and smart passes in transition. We've seen this more in previous seasons by the Maroons, but it's the team's style. It's one area where the team usually thrives. In order to pull off a W against CNU tonight, one of the things Maroons will have to do is to initiate and be successful in their fast breaks.
Roanoke, a very athletic team. I've seen them in the past seasons run teams into the ground. So by the time the third and fourth quarter get underway, it's a little bit harder. Not everybody's going to have their legs underneath of them. We'll see what happens tonight. Our second key is going to be to just focus on the task at hand.
Roanoke is ranked number 13, and CNU is 3-4 in the season, but the Maroons still have to take the field with winning this game in mind. CNU did give W&L some hassle in their last game, and they're a team that Roanoke will have to respect. You can't take anything for granted in any game.
Our third key is going to be defense. The team needs to be smart. When I say smart, I'm referring more to footwork and stick checks.
That's true, Nick. They got to be smart on defense. Coach Powell of the Roanoke Maroons mentioned that there is some size on the CNU attack unit, and as you look down Roanoke's D, it's just not really there. The standout in terms of size is Eric DeLong. Paco and Gier aren't on the taller side, but the group as a whole can utilize their skills to combat it. This back unit is very athletic and fundamentally sound, which can be an asset for a defense. And one last note, look for Braden Geary to get some LSM time, even if it's just for the face-off before he drops back to close the defense.
When I sat down and talked to Coach Pilot, Mike Littner is out hurt, leaving Doobie as really the only other true long stick midi. Geary came in as a short stick, a Canadian native with outstanding stick skills. Scored 2 goals against Lynchburg, added 2 more against Hampton Sydney. Coaches have said he always has the green light to go to the goal. We haven't seen a long stick do that since probably Steve Simmons. Simmons, a great career here at Roanoke, one of the leaders all time in ground balls for the Maroons. So when I talked to Coach Pilot, he said that it's definitely an option to line Geary up as a long stick midi. Once the play moves up, bring him back across the midfield line and sit him back on a close defense. You could see Doobie start off on close and rotate up as a midi. You could also see a short stick start back in the box. We'll see what happens as things get going. To recap, Roanoke lacrosse style, focus on the task at hand, and play smart defense, your keys to the game. You'll be back with the starting lineups in the opening face-off coming up next. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio.
For information or schedules on Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem.
From Donald J. Kerr Stadium in Salem, Virginia, it's the Roanoke Maroons and the Christopher Newport Captains. TJ, let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders.
For the opponents, Andy McGregor has a 7.5 goals against average and a 56.6 save percentage. For the Roanoke Maroons, Mike Hardon will be starting. He has a 9.6 goals against average and a 58.3% save percentage.
Thank you, TJ. Hardon posting a 3-0 record as a starting lineup tonight for the Maroons. On attack, it'll be Keating, Coretti, and Mayberry. The top midfield unit of Parsons, Dubois, and Mike Hayden. On defense, a combination of Paco, Geary DeLong, and look for Wes Panacost to get in the mix, too. He's out right now with the starters for the opening faceoff. As the teams get set, Matt Satoski will be in to take the faceoff for Roanoke. Roanoke in the home whites. They go right to left. CNU in the road blacks. They will go left to right. Roanoke 3-2 at home this season.
This is the first time these two teams are meeting, and it's hard to play a team you've never met before because you do not have film against you two playing. You know, it's really difficult to judge a team that you've never played before.
That's a very slow whistle from the official. Satoski thought he poked the face-off ahead. CNU had it. A nice check thrown by Geary, knocked the ball free. Roanoke still after on the far side. Play on call comes. We have our first infraction of the game. It's a loose ball push against the Maroons. Geary starting out at long stick midi as CNU will race into the box. The Captains an outside shot. Geary got his stick on the stick to knock it away. Hard on, closer to it when it went out. Possession will go right back to Roanoke. A quick whistle to start things up. Ahead it comes for Braden Geary. He steps across midfield, a man on him, plays it down the near alley for Jeff Keating. Keating goes to the top for Mike Hayden. To his right, Spencer Parsons. Parsons comes in, dodges towards the middle, gives it up for Hayden. On his left hand, steps in and fires. He scores! Mike Hayden! And Roanoke jumps out to a 1-0 lead, 30 seconds in.
Almost making it look easy when he was just barely open. Takes that lefty shot to the bottom right corner. Great shot by Mike Hayden.
As we can go back now, let's take a look at the replay. Parsons, right off the bat, went right at his defender. Dodging in before giving it up to the near side. Hayden, all kinds of room. Able to put that one on the hip. Satoski will go back down for the faceoff.
Roanoke's coming off a 21-12 win over Hampton City on Saturday. You can definitely see the energy coming from that win and reflecting in this game.
TJ, as I mentioned, the open Roanoke, really a chance to get on a roll right now. Satoski unable to come up with a face-off win. Larry Agort sends that one into the box. Geary punches it towards the far alley, shoulders his man aside as they go towards the sideline. Last touched, I say, by the Maroons. Possession will stay with Christopher Newport. We'll get a horn. The Captains will bring out their top midfield unit. CNU will start in the far side alley. 45 seconds in, Roanoke a 1-0 goal. Hayden gets the tally. It's his 10th of the season. He had an assist on 2 shots the last game. As inside the box, a long outside shot is found by Hardon out of the stick of John Glasser. Leading scorer for the Captains. As Hardon in the crease, he'll walk it ahead before he gives it up at the restraining line for Ingold. Ingold has Packer to the near side. Moves up. Able to go around the 2 defenders, past midfield, down the right side. He gives it up for Kyle Smith. Smith gets a touch in the box. Part of the second midfield unit out with Neislick and Will Carter. Smith now has it at the top. His big frame comes in, drives to the right. He's checked, stays on his feet. Sends it goal and extended for Reed Mayberry. Mayberry looking things over. Behind the net now for Jeff Keating. Has Neislick. Neislick from an angle with a shot. Put it off the back of the net. McGregor will come up with a loose ball behind his crease as he looks to start the clear.
That shot just a little wide, but this is exactly what Roanoke needs. They need a lot of shots on goals in these offensive possessions in order to get this lead up.
McGregor looking to work the clear. Finds a man inside. It's Jake Myers. It'll step around the check of Coretti. Races down the left side. Punched at by Doobie. Gives it up in the far alley. Comes back now for Jake Myers up high. He plays it on to the top. As Kyle Pasta steps in down the left side. Turns back. His pass goes off a stick. It'll be corralled now by Glasser. Glasser down the near alley for Coster. Now down around behind. Christopher Newport coming out in some sort of a 1-3-2. To the near side for Coster. He turns goal line extended, moves down around behind the net, got a pick along with him. Coster goes up the left wing for Glasser. Glasser covered by Doobie, who he has a couple inches on. Now sends it down around behind the net. A couple fakes As the captains come up along the far side, turning back now, it's Christ. Christ sends it towards the far alley. Christopher Newport controlling possession. Really no attempt to the net yet. A lot of dodges and fakes, though. Out to the top now for Glasser. Glasser and now Myers. Myers able to step right around Nizick with outside shot. A great kick save made by Hardon. Panacost had trouble coming up with the ground ball. CNU back with it. The captains get it out to the top now for Jake Myers. Myers comes in on Smith, now pulls away. Hardon shouting out orders in his crease, getting the defense organized. Down the left wing alley it goes for Parker Thompson. Thompson poked at by DeLong, able to knock the ball free. DeLong ties him up and takes him down as Kyle Smith comes up with a loose ball. Smith to the near side for West Panacost. Panacost will just play it off for his upperclassman in Paco. Paco just a sophomore. Panacost the freshman. Across midfield it goes Nizick and now Kyle Smith. Smith wants to go to the outside, got tied up. Sends it out down for Mike Hayden. Roanoke will make midi changes. Hayden gets a touch. Nizick and Smith will head off in favor of Dubois and Parsons. Parsons has it coming out of the box. Moving along the restraining line. Waiting for his line mate Dubois. As Dubois has it, steps in. Dodges towards the inside. Drew a quick slide. CNU has to reorganize. Dubois checked that. Tried to get that pass for Parsons. It was behind him. Dubois comes up with the ground ball through a couple checks. Now turns back. Gives it out for Joey Coretti. Coretti down around behind for Jeff Keating. Far side now Reed Mayberry. To the top it comes for Hayden. Hayden feeds it inside. Dubois goes down low. Reed Mayberry with a shot. He scores. What a feed by Connor Dubois as Mayberry gets his 8th goal of the season. Dubois will get his 12th assist. 2-1 Roanoke here early on in the first quarter. 10:41 to go.
Roanoke's offense being a little patient right there, and it pays off. You see that they had that one good feed, just a mishandled pass. They got it back, patient, got it around, and once they get that open feed right there, great goal by Mayberry.
As we go back and take a look at the replay, it looked like he was going to jump and turn and shoot. Instead, able to find Reed Mayberry along the back door as Mayberry stepped in with a nice fake. On the faceoff, Satoski goes down digging for it. It still sits the faceoff X. And CNU able to emerge with it. The captain step into the box. The Maroon takes a tumble. It's flipped towards the near side. Goes off the stick of Coster down towards the near alley. DeLong comes over after, but we have a whistle. An injured Maroon back behind the play. It's Max Satoski. Satoski back on his feet. He'll limp his way off.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because he's been one of the lead face-off guys for Roanoke. He is 0-3 in this game, but in previous games he's had a lot of success, even as a true freshman, just picking up this face-off and face-off role and doing really well for Roanoke.
Satoski has taken over 75% of Roanoke's face-offs, and he's won 60% of those.
It's a pretty good statistic, especially as a true freshman.
Well, for sure. He's 9 for 32 against Hampton-Sydney. The CNU cuts down the right side. The captain's will turn. It's Parker Thompson who sends it down around behind. It's fed to the near side of the crease. A good check thrown. I believe it was by DeLong to knock it free. He has trouble with the ground ball. The captain's come up with it through traffic. It's Billy Christ. Christ turns behind the net. DeLong hacking at him. At the top, trying to ISO and come in is Abante. Abante forced away. To the near side, it's Parker Thompson. Down the right wing now, Billy Christ, and down around behind. Christopher Newport working the ball around the perimeter. They trail 2-0, 9:40 to go here in the first. As the captains cut in, it's Parker Thompson. Trying to step around Geary through a great check from behind to knock the ball free. Roanoke might have an odd man rush coming back the other way as Geary outlets for Ingold at midfield. Ingold moves ahead with Ryan Worsina. Ingold steps in, drives down the right side, looks for help. Now gives it off down low for Reed Mayberry. Has Worsina cutting inside. That pass got tipped. Worsina fighting for the ground ball, reaching out after it was McGregor, and it wound up in the net. Roanoke scores. It's 3-0 in favor of the Maroons. 9:15 to go in the first. We're going to have to go back and take a look at this replay. Mayberry will get credit for the goal. Ingold found Mayberry, who in turn found Worsina with a great cut, the freshman. Slow things down a little bit to see how exactly that developed. It just popped out in front, and Mayberry just slapped that one in. It's like he's playing tennis, TJ.
Exactly. McGregor looked like he had it, and then Mayberry just took it right out of his stick.
At the face-off X, Satoski not out to take it. Dubois does. Illegal procedure called against Dubois. Christopher Newport will start with it. As the captains will work to make midfield changes. Koster moves it across the top of the restraining line. Koster gives it up on the left side for John Glasser. Glasser listed as an attackman playing midfield tonight. Myers has it now out at the point, waiting for his midfield reinforcements. He's going to come in now on Hayden. Cuts down the right side. Looked like he wanted to send a pass to X. Ended up sending that one well up and out of play. Possession now back to the Maroons. An unforced error from CNU. 8:45 to go in the first. Roanoke with a 3-0 lead. As the Maroons will start up from the near alley. It's Wes Panacost. Panacost tried to flip that one ahead for Hayden. Makes a great one-handed jump catch, able to stay in bounds. Top midfield unit out for the Maroons as Hayden steps into the box. Tries to go deep with it. Now sends it behind the net for Jeff Keating. Keating up the far side. Feeds it in front. Dubois with a shot and a stick save made on the play by McGregor. Great movement there by the Maroons. It was a good find and a good cut by Dubois to get open inside.
Oh, definitely. Very athletic play right there. Start with Hayden making that really close catch on the sideline there.
As Chris dumps it off down around behind. As Christopher Newport works to get reorganized. As at the top, Pasta tries to cut in. Gives it off along the wing. As Glasser turns back with it. Glasser for Pasta. Drives in the right side. Parsons bumped him. He laid it off behind the net. Now across the far side. Christopher Newport trying to find something offensively. A quick move inside. Hayden laid the lumber with a hit. That rebound swatted wide of the net. Hayden, or Hardon will come up with it. We have a flag down behind the play. The official goes over the scorer's table and will get the call.
Hardon reached for the ball outside the net. He left the goal wide open. It almost went in, and luckily it went a little wide for the Maroons.
Mike Hayden's going to go. 1 minute for, I believe, unnecessary roughness was the call. Christopher Newport will go to the man advantage. As it seemed, converting about 29.5% of their man-up opportunities. The Roanoke penalty kill has been good this season as the Maroons are getting aggressive.
Oh, definitely. But against a team you never played before, you don't even know what play they're going to run. So how are you supposed to defend something?
DeLong knocked it free behind that. They come back up with it. Hard on race back into that. That pass gets away from everybody out towards midfield. Creddy up with it there. Roanoke a chance to kill. Comes down for Jeff Keating. Steps in and fires. He scores! Jeff Keating picks the top left corner, his 18th goal of the season.
With a very athletic sidearm shot, low to high, man. That is why you play college lacrosse. If you can make that shot all day, great goal by Keating.
Keating on the board, 4-0 Roanoke, 7:09 to go.
You're right, Nick. I was with you. I thought they were going to
quarter.
kill out the penalty, and then he just ripped it.
Keating doing great work with his outside shot. As he had room, if he wanted to kill it, he had time and space to kill it.
Oh, yeah, easily. They could have killed it, but, I mean, a goal is better than killing out the penalty, I guess.
Keating up as the hot attackman here. The Maroons still shorthanded. Christopher Newport carries over. It's Rob Koster. Koster sends it down the near wing. There's another great check thrown by DeLong, who knocked it free. Shovels the ball towards midfield. It's not going to make it anywhere near the timeline. John Thompson keeps possession for the captains. It's Christopher Newport driving down the left side. It's Glasser. Glasser turns back towards the top. Cycle along now for Thompson. Thompson sends a pass back across. That one got away from Jake Myers. Speedy Myers able to keep it in bounds. Penalty has released. Both teams back now at even strength as Thompson starts at the top, drives down the right side. He got a pick, took an outside shot, and he sent it wide of the net. The captains bring it in behind the net. 6:20 to go in the first. They trail by 4. Wraps the crease, tries to feed it across. It's picked off. Taken by Brady Geary. Geary with a man on his back, protects his stick through traffic. Now up across midfield. Geary goes into the now for Warsina, an All-American attackman in high school. Used as a D-mid. He dances right in, diving down, took a shot. He bounced it up high. What an athletic move there by the freshman. Gets up a little disappointed with himself. A great move. Warsina 1 goal this season. He tallied that last game against Hampton-Sydney. I'd asked Pilot about putting an All-American attackman from high school in as a defensive midi. And he said he did such a good job with it the first time they tried it, they had to keep it going.
Well, if you got great stick skills, you're applicable to any position pretty much besides probably goalie. I mean, attack mid, you could be a defensive midi as long as you got the stick skills.
And Worsina has that. He also has great speed. As Keating comes to the near side behind the net for Joey Coretti. Goes back across the outside. Keating with a shot, and he ripped that one up high. Wood Horn Christopher Newport going to make a change on their defensive midfield. Joey Coretti will bring it in from the near side. Second midfield unit out for the Maroons of Smith, Carter, and Neislick. As Keating sends it up the near wing for Carter. Carter going extended for Coretti. Behind the net now for Jeff Keating. So at the far side for Mayberry. Back to X for Keating. Keating cycles it again behind for Reed Mayberry. Mayberry turns back towards the far side. Looks to Coretti. Now gives it up. Coretti moving towards the near side. Tried to put the brakes on. Slips. Leonard's defender. Wraparound try. He scores! Joey Coretti getting his 17th goal of the season. 5-0 Roanoke. 5:14 to go in the first quarter.
The captain's defense put 4 deep holes out on defense, try to put some more pressure on the Maroons, and it didn't work, obviously, because Coretti with this fantastic goal.
A nifty move to dodge underneath. Coretti's foot is on the goal line, using his stick, able to come out, wrap that one 5-0 on McGregor.
Brendan Dwyer on the captains. Looked like he went to go step up to double team him, but then was hesitant a little bit as Coretti took that shot.
As Dubois in on the faceoff again. It's won by Christopher Newport. From their own end. Pass up the left side, corralled by Abbott. Abbott steps in. He's checked out by Dubois. Drew a quick double team as he's able to get the pass away. Walking at the top is Thompson. Faked the shot. Now passes it off. Ryan Duca moving in the far alley. Lofts it out to the top for Thompson. Thompson steps in, races to his right on Worsina, pulls up, plays it in the near alley. As Chris sends it further behind the net. Christopher Newport working it around the perimeter. At the top, it's Thompson. Wants to come in on Worsina, drives hard down the left side. Thompson out wide, rolls back towards the middle, looks for a passing lane, finds none. Now has a step on Worsina, inside feeds the crease. A great check thrown, able to knock the ball free. It ends up in the stick of Jeff Doobie. Doobie lofts it ahead to midfield. DeLong waits, turns away from pressure. Now gives it up for Connor Dubois. Work on the defensive end by the Maroons as Dubois feeds the near side for Keating. He'll go down around behind the net. Comes up going extended with a shot. He scores! Keating getting number 19 on the season. 6-0 Roanoke, 4:01 to go in the first quarter. As Dubois is past the near side, it looked like Keating was looking for a pass to step in and shoot. It was too far ahead of him. Great work by the senior. As he moves around behind the net, then buries it far side up high on McGregor.
It almost looked like he fooled the goalie McGregor by looking for to feed someone, but then he just took that no-angle shot and his great goal.
Another face-off win by Christopher Newport. As the captains will control another offensive possession. Walking at the restraining line is Glasser. He'll send it out to the top. The captains lift it to the near side. It's taken here by Billy Christ. He'll go down around behind. Thompson fakes the pass. Now dishes it in the far alley. As again the captains working it around. It comes out to the top for Alex Elliott. Elliott comes down the near side. Goes back down around behind. Captain's offense looks somewhat similar to that of the Maroons. As a shot right in the breadbasket of Hardon. He made a save on Glasser.
Yeah, Nick, they're both very fast-paced offenses, but looking at the face-off statistics right now, you would not believe the score. CNU has won every face-off. They've won all 7, and the Roanoke's defense is doing a great job.
As Coretti scores!
Roanoke's defense, is doing a great job at stopping them on that first opportunity, but CNU has an opportunity every time to get a goal. They just not been completing on it, and Roanoke's doing a great job at transitioning, getting down on their offense and scoring.
As we saw that one there from Coretti, number 18 on the season. His second goal of the night makes it 7-0 Roanoke, 2:56 to go in the first. Dubois will go back down on a faceoff. We haven't seen Satoski since he left with an injury. I'm scanning the sideline looking for a number 20, and I don't see it. As Dubois popped the faceoff ahead. Now they fight for it. Doobie comes in from the outside. Wersina up with the ground ball. A faceoff win for the Maroons there first. It's credited to Connor Dubois. Wersina will get the ground ball. As Dubois waiting for line mates. As now he just steps in. Dodgers to the inside. On the run with a shot. He scores! Connor Dubois gets his 10th goal of the season. And Roanoke up 8-0. 2:39 to go in the first quarter. Dubois having basically a breakout season for the Maroons, was waiting for reinforcements, just stepped to the inside. Defender lost his footing and went down. Dubois, a wide open shot, able to beat McGregor.
And finally, the Maroons get a face-off win. You can see how helpful winning the face-off is when they got a goal immediately after getting offensive possession. And another face-off win by the Maroons.
As Will Merritt will get credit for that one. Doobie up with the ground ball, sends it for Wersina. Wersina has proved to be valuable in transition so far. Had a great scoring opportunity earlier on in the period. Was unable to connect as Keating lays it off for Smith, racing in out of the box. Smith protects the stick through traffic. Tried to underhand feed it for Reed Mayberry. It didn't make it. CNU comes up with the ground ball. The Maroons, a couple nice checks, knock the ball loose. The Captains just shovel it ahead. It winds up in the stick again of Smith. Smith tried to feed it down low for Reed Mayberry. The second time it was taken away both. The Captains come up with the loose ball. Dwyer will carry ahead as he's across midfield. Nizick there to greet him as he sends it down to the near alley. Panacoste throwing some checks on Chris, who tries to cut to the inside. Panacoste came over the top. Chris still with it. He got tied up, bounces the pass to the near side. Roanoke defense getting reorganized. They're to come up with the ball off the turf. It's Thompson. Thompson down around behind the net. Christopher Newport in the midst of a midi change. See, what we've seen the Captains do tonight is really line up in almost an open 22, work the ball around, come in, pull away from the ISO, dish it back around, and then ISO from the point again.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a fast-paced offense, just like the Maroons. It's a little bit different.
There are definitely some little kinks in it, but it's something that I feel like we've seen before.
Well, the Maroons are doing a great job at defending it, that's for sure.
Jake Myers sends it towards the near side. Trying to lower his shoulder there is Glasser. Gets a step around Nizick, plays it off down around behind. A pass out to the top, winds up on the floor. This couldn't be handled. DeLong over after the loose ball. He comes up with it. The senior captain goes for a hard-on towards the far alley. Hard-on lofts to the near side. It's taken there by Paco. Paco past the restraining line, finds Nizick. Nizick moving up the near wing. Sends it down around behind the net. As Keating moving up the far side now for Reed Mayberry to the top for Carter. Carter for Nizick. Now Coretti on the near wing to X for Keating. Keating and his defender in a stalemate. Goes to Mayberry, far side, steps in, fakes the shot, now pulls it back out. Mayberry for Carter. Wanted to step in and shoot, he got bumped, couldn't pull the trigger. Carter looking things over as CNU operating in his own defense. Near side, it's Coretti, behind the net again, Keating. Keating looks, comes all the way around with a shot, and a stick save made there by McGregor.
Great save by McGregor, almost knowing that Keating would shoot it high.
As Hardon comes out to take the pass away, 2 seconds now, 1. And the horn will sound. That'll do it for the first 15 minutes here at Kerr Stadium in Salem. The Roanoke Maroons leading the Christopher Newport Captains 8-0. TJ and I will step aside, be back with a face-off to start the second period.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Back to Kerr Stadium in Salem, Virginia. Nick DeSanctis with TJ Kemper as we get set to start our second quarter. Roanoke put up 8 in the first quarter. That's tied for the highest single quarter total over the course of the past year. They scored 8 against Colorado College in a quarter in the 2011 first round of the NCAA tournament. They also did it in their last game against Hampton-Sydney, really propelling the team to victory with an 8-goal first period.
Yeah, Roanoke's playing a fast-paced game as well as the CNU, but Roanoke's been able to get these goals and be successful in their offense.
Dubois back out on the face-off for the Maroons. As Dubois wanted ahead, now comes up with the ground ball. Roanoke out shooting Christopher Newport 13-5 through the first 15. CNU, though, leading the ground ball battle as it comes to the near side. For Mayberry, he goes down around behind. CNU 13-12. In ground balls, rather, Roanoke won 2 of the 9 face-offs. The Captains obviously capturing the other 7. As Roanoke making changes to their midfield. Goes behind the net for Jeff Keating. Keating for Hayden out of the box. Angles, feeds to the near side. Mayberry comes topside. Now feeds Dubois. Steps in, fakes the shot. Ducks under some checks. Then lost. It comes in front. Coretti scores! Coretti, right place, right time. He has the hat trick. 9-0 Roanoke. 14:22 to go in the second quarter. Let's take a look at the replay. As Hayden coming in, it looked like he might have wanted to pull the trigger, elected to go to Mayberry and said probably a better move. You'll see Dubois here, the face dodge. It just pops up right for Coretti in front, and he's one-on-one with McGregor, advantage shooter.
And you could tell that Dubois really wanted that goal as he tried to face dodge like 3 CNU defenders, just happened to lay in Coretti's hands, and right in front of the net, you can't really stop that guy.
Coretti 3 goals on 3 shots. Coretti with his third. Keating has 2, along with Reed Mayberry, Dubois, and Hayden. The other talents. Hardon made 3 saves in that first period. At the face-off X, Will Merritt taking the draw. Emerging through traffic, it's Worsina. Worsina feeds the far side. Keating fires, and a stick save made up top by McGregor. He just launches ahead on the clear. Doobie waits for his man there. The Captains have the loose ball as Walton steps down the near side. Walton double team. Doobie, a great over-the-head check to knock it away. Now DeLong throws it as well. A play on call will now be washed down as the Captains come up with the possession. It was going to be a loose ball hold against Doobie. CNU cuts in, drives down the right side for Glasser. Glasser pulls away. Looking things over, waiting for reinforcements. Will Merritt still out on the field. He's on Glasser. To the top it comes out for Jake Myers. Myers sends it out to the point. As the Captains again will drive in from the top, it's Pasta. Pasta looks down around behind the net. Gives it up to the near side. Up the wing now for Glasser. Glasser stops, goal line extended, now looks back, gives it up to the top. Coming in again is Jake Myers. Myers looks for room, a jump shot, save made by Hardon. DeLong will race for it, he will be closer to it. Possession back to the Maroons, great effort by the senior DeLong. Hardon's 4th save. Coming on that last, it looked like it might have gone off the shaft of his stick. DeLong will start from the near alley as the Maroons take the horn, use it as a time to make some changes to their midfield unit.
Yeah, that was a great effort by DeLong after the shot, getting to the sideline and getting the possession back to Roanoke.
As Hardon comes to the near side, he has Carter. Carter has a touch, drives down as he sees it lay on the right side. Angle shot, he scores! Will Carter getting his first career goal. And the freshman makes it 10-0 Roanoke, 12:48 to go in the second.
Will Carter made that goal right as he was getting hit. I mean, that was very athletic.
You know you're going to get hit. You got to stay in and take it.
Oh, yeah, he definitely was focused on one thing and one thing only, getting that goal. And as he gets hit, he's almost falling. And
he got
bumped away.
A big hit there was looming. Had he wanted to, Elliott could have come in and really had his way with Carter. Dubois down on the face-off. As an illegal procedure called against Dubois. Christopher Newport will race in a quick odd man opportunity while the Maroons get the rest of their defense out. So Captains go behind the net. Shaw pestered at by DeLong as he moves through X. Maroons leading 10-0 here at Kerr Stadium. I'm Nick DeSanctis alongside TJ Kemper as Paco able to knock the ball free. Geary then overran it. Parsons, some checks on
CNU is
Thompson.
8-12 with their faceoffs today, and there you go.
Thompson scores.
I was just about to say, they need to take advantage of that first opportunity to score. If you have the first offensive possession, you have a big advantage over the other team.
Thompson breaks the shutout. It's 10-1. 12-17 to go in the second. Looked like Geary was going to come up with the ground ball, and the Maroons were going to race back the other way. Thompson the goal. His sixth.
If CNU can keep winning these faceoffs, I mean, they've won 75% of them this game so far. They need to convert on those offensive possessions, especially that first one. It's a huge advantage, and they just did that, as you saw. If they can keep doing that, they could bring it back from a 9-goal deficit.
It's a lot easier to score when you have the ball.
And they have, but for the most part, just the Roanoke defense has been doing a great job of stopping them.
Will Merritt will be in on the faceoff for the Maroons. Worstina and Doobie the wings. The official using another slow whistle as CNU able to pop this one ahead. Turning away from pressure, Ariel Gort. Faceoff ace for Christopher Newport, winning close to 70% of his draws. We're going to be interested to see him match up with Satowski today. It's really a shame to see Satowski leave with an injury. Hopefully we see him back in the lineup before the game's over, or at least next game as the Maroons take on Virginia Wesleyan on Saturday.
Satowski is a big asset to the team. It'd be rough to see him not play.
Yes, he is the only Maroon that's above 50% from the faceoff X.
And he's a true freshman. He's only going to get better. If you lose him in the season, it's going to be a big hit to the team. I mean, DeBois could step in, but Satowski has been that's just been his specialty. If he only takes faceoffs, he can win every one. That's one of the biggest stats of the game. So it's almost always one of our keys to the games too.
As a shot there from Myers got blocked, we elected to switch things up today. Didn't make it a key to the game, although it still always is a key to the game. Panico stepping on that last shot for the block. That's a long hack in along the near side after the pass was missed. Nobody, though, picks up Coster. Coster now in traffic. Turnaround jump shot and a save made down low by Hardon. But a flag comes in late from the official at the top. Will get the call.
Looked like a helmet.
It's DeLong, a slashing penalty. DeLong will go for 60 seconds. Christopher Newport unable to capitalize on their first man-up opportunity. They currently trail on the scoreboard 10-1, 11:05 to go. Here in the second, as Doobie and Geary will be at the top. Ingold in the middle. Higgins and Paco are down low. As the Captains work the ball around. Again, Roanoke very aggressive on their penalty kill this game. More aggressive even than we've seen them in the past. They feed it across behind the net. Cycled out towards the top. An outside shot, they score. Thompson has another one.
We'll definitely see Roanoke's defense be aggressive. And you saw in the last man down, not this current one, but the last one they had, Keating scored on that.
Oh, yeah. Thompson, his second talent, second goal of the night for the Captains, makes it 10-2. 10:47 to go. In the second, as Thompson getting his 7th goal of the season. TJ, going back, we were talking about Satowski on the faceoffs. Coach Pilot said at the beginning he had a couple guys lined up to take faceoffs, but in the preseason they ended up getting hurt. So Satowski ended up stepping in and taking it when Roanoke had a game plan. Unfortunately, things just happen sometimes.
Well, yeah, you gotta adapt to the situation. If players get injured, it's unfortunate, but you gotta fill the spot. And Satowski definitely stepped up to the role, and he's been doing a pretty good job. It's tough to see. I mean, it's sad to see him get hurt.
As Walton steps in along the near side. As Christopher Newport will roll it out. As the Captains have some trouble with it, Geary's over after it. Geary swats at it. He and his man get tied up. A play on call coming. DeLong now up with the ground ball. Runs it to stay on sides. Look at it. It's Geary. Geary feeds it across for Keating. Keating down low. Coretti turns. Sent that one wide of the net.
CNU did a great job in that fast break. It's stepping up to the person who they thought would have the ball. They read it perfectly, hit the guy, and just prevented the shot on goal.
Took the body.
It went wide. I mean, great defense by CNU right there. There's nothing much you can do about that besides just, try and get that fast break, where Roanoke has been successful in the past.
Well, it started with Glasser tried to take the roll. They rolled it for the man coming out of the box. Personally, something I've never been that big a fan of. Glasser had some trouble with it, and Geary read it because Glasser was late coming out of the box. Geary forced it back the other way.
The Maroons just didn't get anyone that was open. I mean, every time they passed it, CNU defender was right on them.
As Mayberry comes out to the near side for Spencer Parsons. At the top, Dubois sidesteps one check. He's yard sailed. Stick comes free. Coming up with that ground ball is Zach Burkhead. Burkhead up the right side. As Christ has a step on his man. Christ steps on the right side, now slows up. Chris down around behind the net for Thompson, who has 2 goals. Thompson in the near alley now for Jake Myers. Myers lost it as he tried to move in on Parsons. Has it back as he moves behind the net.
CNU really needed a goal here to put a deficit in this 8-goal lead that the Maroons have right now.
As Myers had his stick checked as he tried to, the officials say, send a pass across. Possession will go back to the Maroons. Panacost will start with it in the alley. Now the officials have blown play dead, though, conference. As the official from the back, I believe, has just ruled that it was a shot, not a pass. And possession will go back to Christopher Newport. It was a shot. It was a mile wide, but it was still a shot.
And CNU gets another opportunity to make a dent in this deficit right now.
As the captains will start with it from the far alley. As they move in behind the net, I believe the right call made there by the officials. Try and wrap the crease along as his man tied up. Spinning through traffic before finally losing it was Koster. Ball free towards the far alley where Cena bumps his man hard as the ball just finds its way out of bounds. Possession, the official says, to CNU. Must have bumped off Worsina on its way out.
CNU gets another lucky break, another opportunity, but Roanoke's defense is playing so aggressive right now, it's hard to even get a shot off.
Captains are having trouble really finding any room to move. As you saw them dance all the way through the middle and still couldn't get their hands raised. The defense just collapsed. Nowhere to go, no pass to make.
Well, the Roanoke defense, I mean, as a defender, you got to step up. You really got to move your feet. It's all about knowing where you're supposed to be and stepping up to the plate. And they're doing a great job of stepping up to where they need to be.
Just along another stick check to knock the ball free. However, it goes right to Elliott. Elliott feeds it outside Thompson. Man slips. Thompson feeds it down in front. Hardon uses his reach to come up with a ground ball. Hardon outlet to Ingold along the near side, who moves ahead. He has Worsina all the way across the field and finds him. Worsina moving in. Past the restraining line, now rolls back. Man coming in behind him. He turns away from pressure. He'll hold as the Maroons will make midi change. Worsina plays it down. To the top now it comes for Neislich from Keating. Second midfield line on its way out as Neislich sees a lane, drives in with a shot, and he sent it high.
We talked about before that Roanoke needs to respect CNU as a team. I mean, they could run out the clock, sure, for 3 quarters, but that's not what they want to do. They want to extend this lead because CNU could come back from this.
Neislich will send it down around behind for Reed Mayberry along for Keating. I'm not sure I've ever seen Coach Pilot run out the clock, except last year at Lynchburg when they came back with 4 minutes to go. As Carter with an outside shot, that one got blocked. Actually, I think it might have went off McGregor in the process. They raced to the end line. McGregor closer. In that game, Pilot had sat on it the last 5 minutes. Zach Thomas says it was his idea. As off the clear, the pass comes ahead. It'll be taken by Paco as it goes all the way across midfield. Kyle Smith's up with it. Smith has Coretti open in front of the net. He'll dodge his man. Smith, using his size, tries to walk in. He stick check, lost it. Ball comes down towards the near corner. CNU up with it. 7 minutes to go. That one checked to the bounds by Kyle Smith. Possession will stay with the Maroons.
Great job of getting the ball back, especially by Paco. That ball handling skills. He picked up and flipped it right to his teammate, which allowed them to keep the offense possession.
As off the clear, the pass really just eluded everyone and wound up at midfield. Paco, the only one in the vicinity. Roanoke will work the offense as Mayberry starts from the near alley, goes out to the top. Comes for a Neislich at the left point. Neislich breaks down the left side, now rolls back towards the middle. Neislich feeds in front. Coretti with a shot, he scores! He knocked into the crease. You see the official nod, then signal goal. Coretti's 4th of the night, 20th goal of the season. 11-2 Roanoke, 6:50 to go in the second. I'm going to go back and take a look At the replay, Neislich turns back, sends it in front for Coretti. He's able to just turn and shoot.
I originally thought he got hit on that play, but that was just a really athletic move. He was almost falling backward, able to turn around and get a good shot on goal. Coretti, an offensive star right now with 4 goals. He's playing amazing.
Coach Pilot had said earlier on in the season he was looking for someone to play with Keating and Lachlan. Lachlan not in the lineup tonight. Coretti seemed to be that fit.
Well, yeah, they work really well together. You can definitely see it by the scoreboard.
Lachlan and Coretti, both guys that can work in front, but with different styles. Lachlan more of a catch and shoot, Coretti more of a turn and shoot, if you will. Lachlan selected as a preseason All-American candidate. He's watching. We send him all the best as Parsons tries to go topside. Now turns back on his left hand, goes behind the net. Second there by Dubois. Feeds it out. Comes to the top for Mike Hayden. Hayden to the point for Keating. Keating back now for Hayden. Walking in the left alley. Guernsey comes in off the bench for the Maroons. He's in for Reed Mayberry. Guernsey, the sophomore, on attack. Hayden will start from the far side. Moves through X, has Mayberry with the lane to the near side. He'll take it himself. Hayden in front with a shot. He scores!
And Hayden's second tally of the game. Both great goals. Shot it right in between McGregor's legs right there.
Put it at 5-hole. His 11th goal of the season. That will extend the Roanoke lead back up to 10. 12-2 the score. 5:56 to go in the second. We saw Roanoke use almost the style offense a lot in the Lynchburg game, and they really didn't have a lot of success with it. But Hayden able to beat his man. He had Mayberry. Had he elected to defeat it, Hayden took it himself. And he went 5-0 there on McGregor.
Just none of the CNU defenders stepped up to double team him. That's what you need to do on defense in order to stop those kinds of goals.
Well, the slide came, but the slide was so far away, they didn't cheat back, seeing exactly what was happening. An outside shot ripped high of the net.
No, if the slide came correctly, that wouldn't be a goal.
Absolutely. If I'm the defender and I see that coming, we've seen Hayden, we know he's quick, we know he's shifty, I'm going to cheat down from my man because there's nobody on the crease. Someone has to slide down on him.
Definitely. The person with the ball right in front of the net is more of a threat than the person on the other side of the field, you know.
As Jake Myers will get a touch as he steps in the right side. Looks back out towards the top. The captain's in the midst of a midi change. Myers all the way out to midfield. Now comes racing in. Comes in hard on Merritt, who's still out after the face-off loss. Cycles it back out towards the top for Pasta. Pasta turns back towards him in a left-handed shot, and he sent it high. Backed up by the captains. Bringing in behind the net. 5:15 to go in the second. Roanoke up big on Christopher Newport here at home. That's the near alley. It comes for John Glasser. Glasser goes out to the top. Let's try to dodge in now is Thompson. Thompson rather Pasta. Pasta hands free on the right side with a shot and a stick save made up high by Hardon. Rebound caroms towards the near corner. The captains will pick it up there to keep the ball in play.
CNU offense is doing almost everything right that I'm seeing. It's just they're not connecting with the goal at the end. They're missing one little final step. They're just shooting at the wrong spot. I mean, they're playing great against this Roanoke defense. They're just not connecting.
As Adams' pass comes all the way through the middle, nobody home. Possession will go back to Roanoke. TJ, I was thinking something very similar on those lines. A lot of their shots we've seen have gone high of the net. Hardon's an awful tall guy. He stands at 6'5". To be honest with you, I would be aiming low, maybe try and bounce it by him.
Oh, definitely. Bounce shots, especially on turf, work extremely well, especially against tall goalies.
Of course, that was the scouting report on Hardon for the longest while last season, and he answered that one pretty quickly. Hardon got off to a great start last year, maybe cooled off a little bit. Charlie Peace was able to take the starting role and run with it all the way to the NCAA semifinals. As Bracken comes up with a ground ball, now able to roll right off a check.
A couple sloppy passes by Roanoke in transition, but they ended up getting it down, and let's see if they can save it. And
Keating keeps it in bounds. As he gives it for Will Carter, now Drew Bracken. Right, making some changes to their midfield. As Bracken moves down the left wing.
Looks like a similar play we saw with Hayden.
I think it's going to be the identical thing. Bracken wraps the crease, now stops, turns behind them. That time he drew a quick slide. Good heads-up defense by Adam Abate.
CNU realizing what's going on and stopping the play is a good job by CNU.
Now starting behind the net is Ryan Brewer. Brewer looked for a cross crease feed, found nothing. Now tries to back his man down, goal line, extend along the far side, kicks to the top for Keating. Comes for Guernsey for Carter, steps in with a shot and a save made there by McGregor.
Seeing you taking the thought process, it's good. It's all right to make a mistake once, but once you make the mistake, you never make that again. And they're not going to let Roanoke score on that play again unless they are surprising with it.
As a long lead pass is taken by Lehman. Lehman tried to send a pass down low. That one winds it up out of bounds.
Unfortunate they couldn't, handle that pass right there. That would have been a great opportunity to close in on this lead.
That was a great lead pass, too. As Bracken will start it from his own end, past his own restraining line. Bracken racing towards the far side, rolls back towards the middle, looking to find some support. He's hacked out as he steps across midfield. Same unit still out of Bracken, Will Carter, and Ryan Brewer. Keating, Guernsey, and Mayberry the attack as the Maroons up by 10, 2:40 to go here in the second. Ground ball picked up by Bracknell on the far side. He goes out to the top for Carter. Carter breaks down the right side, puts the brakes on, goes back to the top. Brewer falling down, gets a pass away for Keating. Keating moving through the top. Brewer cuts under. Keating from the near side, feeds it behind the net. Mayberry back towards the far side. Guernsey lowers the shoulder, cuts in front, tried to take a shot. It looked like that one ended up with bodies. A crease violation called against Guernsey. As he's going down, let the trigger go with three guys on top of him. That not exactly an easy feat.
That was definitely not great. I thought he could move right on top of the crease. Just too bad he landed in the crease and did not score.
As off the clear. Sent through the middle for a bait. And a bait checked at by Bracken. Final 2 minutes of the first half. At the top, trying to cut in his Glasser. On the left side with a shot. He sent that one well high. Christopher Newport closer to the line along the far side.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that was a great drive and a great shot, just a little high.
Glasser came in started the season as an attack. We've seen him play midfield, though, tonight as Myers takes the feed too far down to get a shot away. Panicost up with the ground ball. Saw him have an assist, I believe, against Adrian a few weeks ago. Panicost moving ahead. He wants to shoot it. Panicost with a shot. A chest save made by McGregor. Sure, the coaching staff will be happy about that. Keating comes up with a nifty pickup. Turns away from pressure, lost it. Now has to kick it out to midfield, or he'll grab it himself.
It's a great save by McGregor, stopping that Roanoke offense.
Down to the final minute 15. Mayberry for Keating at the top. He steps in. We have a whistle and a timeout on the field taken by Roanoke. The Maroons are going to talk over their final 73 seconds. Roanoke up 12-2. We'll step aside. Be back after this.
Mac & Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac & Bob's in Salem.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All sports cafes.
Stadium, 1:13 to go in the second quarter. 12-2. The score for the Maroons. Taking a look at goal scoring for Roanoke. Coretti leads the Maroons. He's got 4. Keating and Hayden each with 2. A goal then by Will Carter and Connor Dubois, along with Reed Mayberry, have rounded out the scoring for Roanoke. Coach Pilot using one of his timeouts, trying to get things set up for the final minute and 13 of the period. Nick DeSanctis with TJ Kemper from Kerr Stadium on the campus of Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia.
Nick, 5 different Maroons have scored today, and when you see so many different Maroons scoring, in a single game, it shows how versatile the team is. And actually, I'm not even sure the starting lineup is out right now. Oh, excuse me, I think they put him back in.
As the top midfielder out for the Maroons, along with the starting attack. As Keating comes out the near side for Parsons.
Before the timeout, I think they had a couple of
They did. They had to kind of juggle it up. As Hayden breaks down the left side, trying to draw a man, doesn't. Goes to Mayberry, the near side now Jeff Keating. Keating look to feed, finds Parsons. Parsons rolls back to the middle, left hand, steps in and fires, and he sent it just wide. Down to 46 seconds left in the period.
That was a great stick check by Adam Abate on the CNU defense right there, preventing him from getting that shot on goal.
As Mayberry tries to go topside. On the run with a bounce shot. Save made. Big rebound. Sits in front of the crease. And Christopher Newport comes up with it. 35 seconds left. As they go from McGregor behind the net. McGregor launches that one up the far side.
Oh,
passes
good look
have
by
been very
McGregor
good.
getting that easy transition for CNU.
As now Christopher Newport steps in the box, and they will take a timeout of their own. 23.5 seconds left. Maroons up by 10. TJ and I will step aside and be back to close out the first half.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Donald J. Kerr. The Maroons are 3-2 at Kerr Stadium this season, boasting a 46-10 record at Kerr overall. The Maroons have only lost once here at the stadium in the NCAA tournament. I believe only once in the ODAC tournament, ODAC championship game to Lynchburg. That coming a few years back.
The CNU taking a timeout here is not a bad call. They need to be deliberate with every offensive possession they have, because Roanoke's defense is such a good defense, and they only have 15 seconds to score right here.
So drive down the right side, it's fed down around behind the net. 10 seconds to go. So the captains will feed this one out to the top for Glasser. Glasser wants to go to work, feeds it across. Under 5 seconds left. Myers from the right side, a jump shot, stick save made by Hardon. Rebound sits in front. Hardon reaches up and snags as the horn sounds, and that'll do it for the first 30 minutes of play here in Salem. Roanoke outscoring Christopher Newport 4-2 in the second quarter after an 8-0 tally in the first. 12-2 your halftime score. TJ now step aside and be back to recap the first half.
After Hobart had eliminated Roanoke
Roanoke College. Time.
On the radio. Welcome. Nothing is going to change on this end. Roanoke leading Christopher Newport 12-2 at the end of the first half. John Thompson has both goals for the captains. John Glasser has been credited with an assist. Goal scoring for the Maroons, Creddy with 4. Hayden Keating and Reed Mayberry each with 2, while Dubois and Will Carter have each added 1. An assist apiece for Coretti, Dubois, Hayden Neislick, and Spencer Parsons. The Maroons outshooting the captains 25-16, 13-5 in the first, just 12-11 in the second. Each team is tied now with 22 ground balls. On the face-off X, Christopher Newport leading that battle 11-5 as they've taken 11 of the 16 draws. The captains having trouble with their clears. They're just 6 of 8, while the Maroons are 11 of 11. The captains also 1 for 2 on extra man opportunities, taking advantage of their 2 man-up opportunities. Both were 2-minute segments. Each goalie has recorded 7 saves. Hardon has allowed 2 while making 7. Creddy is really the team leader for the Maroons. He has 4 goals and an assist today, along with 5 shots, 4 of them on goal. 4 shots on goal, 4 goals out of 5 shots. Really not a bad ratio. The turnover number, though, in this game getting absorbent as Christopher Newport with 17 turnovers to the Roanoke's 4. Again, the Maroons leading 12-2. Rain starting to fall here at Kerr Stadium. In fact, I'm not even sure it's falling as much as it's sweeping from side to side. Interesting to see how this one finishes out. We'll step aside, be back to take a look at our keys to the game, how they're reflected in that first half, and we'll get you set for the second half. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium. Face-off underway as we get started here in the third quarter. Teams have again changed ends. Roanoke and their home whites going right to left. Christopher Newport and the Road Blacks going left to right as the captains control the opening face-off of the second half. Dubois lost his glove as the captains walk right in. A right check thrown from behind by Panicos to knock the ball free. CNU back up with it as they play this one away. Captains turn away from pressure. Now Geary picks the pass off. He lost it behind him. Panicos throws a nice check to knock the ball free. Now Wersina up with it as Wersina tries to move back the other way, fakes the pass, able to sidestep a check. Now dumps it ahead as it's taken by Connor Dubois. Geary moves towards the front of the net as Dubois steps to the box, content to slow the tempo. It's like the rain has now held up, rather damp, still falling as I look up into the lights.
Great play by Geary and Panicos to get the ball back to the Maroons, but if you look at the second half, the weather conditions changed throughout the half, like almost instantly too. The wind and the rain has changed. This is a different game that they were playing in the first half.
The weather always making lacrosse a little bit more interesting with the mesh sticks, obviously. TJ, let's take a look back at our keys to the game. Our first one was Roanoke wanted to dominate the tempo. It looks like they've been able to do that.
Yeah, their style is fast and controlling. They want to dominate. They want to dominate their style. They want to dominate the other team. They want to keep it on offense, and they want to get a lot of shots on goals. They've been doing all that. The one area that they haven't been dominating their style is face-offs, where, I mean, they're losing. Most of the face-offs are easily under 50%. CNU just hasn't been able to convert, but the other thing is CNU has had a lot of turnovers, so that's made up for losing the face-offs. The second one is focusing on today and focusing on CNU, and Roanoke has CNU in their sights right now. If you look at the score, 12-2, Roanoke up by 10. They are just focused on them, no one else in their sights. As far as the third key to our game is help on D. You know, Paco, Panicos, and DeLong are the defenders, and DeLong is really the only one that stands out as a big guy, a big threat. And they have definitely combined their skills in stopping this attack line. As you see, they've only scored 2 goals, both by the same guy. They're definitely combining their skills and utilizing them in order to stop this attack line.
The other thing Roanoke has in their advantage of the turnover margin, 17-4. Roanoke was unable to capitalize after their offensive possession. Christopher Newport now working things in the offensive end of the field. This from the top, trying to dodge his pasta. He moves down the left side, sends it down around behind the net. 12.5 to go. Here in the third quarter, the Maroons up by 10. To the top it goes for Glasser. So he's running uphill essentially right into the wind. Comes towards the near side for Pasta. He turns back. Tries to pass down around behind the net, popped at and taken away by Hardon. Jumping out of the stick, comes up with the ground ball. Alice to the near side for Paco. Across his own restraining line, goes to midfield for Connor Dubois. As Dubois steps in the box along the near side. Dubois fakes, lowers the shoulder, sends it down around behind the net. Quick stick back out in front, they score! It's Joey Coretti. He's got another one. Coretti's 5th tally of the night. Puts Roanoke up by 11, 13-2.
Great goal by Coretti now with 5. I mean, he is being an offensive star right now. You saw the first drive down, pass behind X, almost immediately out in front to Coretti, one-on-one with the goalie. I mean, it was a great pass, a great look, because he was wide open in front of the net. I mean, if he's like that, and he's had 4 goals today, you got to give the pass to him, because he will score. He will complete. He's been very successful today.
He's only missed 1 shot.
Yeah, we talked about if he would be a good fit. I mean, just look at those numbers. He is a great fit for the position he's in.
Numbers don't usually lie. Coretti, the 5'9" senior out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. As the faceoff sits along the midfield line. Christopher Newport comes up with it. Long stick midi Pulaski. Pulaski's pass through the middle is taken on a bounce. As it's carried into the box. Christopher Newport working to get the offense set up. Now trailing by 11. 11:40 to go in the third. As TJ, these Christopher Newport numbers were hard to see from the beginning. Now with rain on the front of the windows, things getting more difficult.
Oh, and all the rain in between us and the players, too. It's really coming down out there.
It's coming down sideways as well, which is always interesting. Little green blip on the radar as Myers drives down the left side. Myers dishes it off down behind the net. Comes to the near side now for Thompson, who has 2 goals. He's covered by Paco. Thompson wraps up towards the far side. Feeds it in the middle. Turning back away from pressure's Glasser as he gives it up in the far alley for Jake Myers. Myers to the top for Kyle Pasta. Pasta steps in on merit. Now rolls back towards the right slide. The slide comes from Geary as he gives it up. Glasser back to the near side for Pasta. He's unable to handle the pass. It'll trickle out of bounds along the near sideline. Possession back to Roanoke.
Mishap on communication as number 8 almost seemed like he wasn't going to get the ball back, and he looked over. He got the pass. just couldn't handle it. I mean, that could be attributed to the rain. When you suddenly get rain, your stick suddenly gets wet, it changes the way you throw, and you have to adjust to that.
Gary will start with it in the near alley. Gary goes in the middle now for Hardon at the restraining line. Hardon looking up the right side, goes for Nizick at the sub box. Nizick steps to the inside, past his attackman. Nizick quickly in, steps in, dodges towards the outside. Defender goes down. Nizick with a shot. He sent it wide of the net. Captain slowed his feet along the far side. The one that Nizick kind of just crossed over on. He went down. Nizick making sure he's all right. I'm not sure. He's down hurt, reaching for his knee.
Yeah, Nizick got D'd up on his drive, and he just kind of ran through him. And now he's down on the ground.
Training staff from Christopher Newport coming out to take a look. Clock stopped now at 10:30 to go in the third of a 13-12 game. Kyle Higgins, the junior, has come in on defense. So the captain's down to hurt. We're going to take an injury timeout and step aside here at Kerr Stadium. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back after this. Are unable to get a number on him. Coach Ace and training staff out there. The teams have cleared the field. Rain still continuing to fall at Kerr Stadium. Clock still frozen. There's 10:30 to go. Here in the third quarter, Roanoke is up 11 with a score of 13-12. The captain's still down. We'll step aside, give him a little bit more time. Rather, he's making his way back to his feet. We'll stay with you here at Kerr Stadium. Timing is everything. Still working to get a number.
And he's being carried off the field, man. I hope he's not too hurt. I hate to see a player from any team go down.
Absolutely. The only thing I could think of was as he went to cut in, Nizick maybe stepped on his foot as he tried to cross over, and that leaned him back.
Nizick also hit him pretty hard as he was driving through. I mean, that's what you got to do as an attackman, or as a midi, rather. And he might have gotten the wind like that. I'm not really sure what exactly it was, but, now that he's up and walking off, I'm sure that's just what it was.
It looked like he went down nursing his leg. We'll see if he makes a return. Still couldn't get a number on it. As Roanoke goes back to work, Mayberry turns down the right side, looks out towards the top, gives it up there for Carter. Will Carter sends a pass down the alley. It's tipped on its way out by Christopher Newport. Possession now will stay with the Maroons. Nizick, Smith, and Carter operating as the second midfield unit for Coach Pilot. Comes for Nizick on the near wing. Out to the top now for Kyle Smith, to his right for Carter. Carter steps into the box, tries to go deep, took a shot, and he sent it wide. McGregor may have gotten a piece of that one on its way out.
Roanoke offense playing good offensive lacrosse right here. Moving the ball, quick feed, getting good feeds, and getting a lot of shots on goals.
It's Nizick at the top. Through Smith on the right side again, it's Carter. Carter races in on Miller, now turns back, gives it up for Nizick, pass down low. He was unable to take it. Racing for this one is Joey Coretti. He'll corral it short of midfield as he gets a touch, stepping back into the box. Goal line extended. It goes now for Jeff Keating to the top for Carter. Carter moves down low as the Maroons invert. Roanoke now up 11. Carter from behind the net on Patrick Miller. Tries to drive up the near side. Lowers the shoulder, looks to feed in front, finds nothing. Goes across for Mayberry. Steps in, feeds the crease. Coretti with a shot. He scores! Joey Coretti getting his sixth goal of the night. That one puts Roanoke up 12, 14-2 the score. 9:16 left in the third.
Great double team right in front of the goal. I mean, great athletic move. Controlling the feed in pocket and then turning around and scoring while getting hit by two CNU defenders. Great move.
In a lot of traffic. His 22nd goal of the season.
And that feed's not hard. I mean, that feed is extremely hard to make, especially in this rain.
As the rain has really slowed up, wind still whipping across the field, going right to left. I was going to say Christopher Newport jumped on the faceoff. Dubois picks it up and races in from the X. Dubois steps in for Worsino on the near side. Back now for Dubois. Looked back to give it up for Doobie. He had his stick checked from the late man coming in for CNU. Doobie absorbs the hit along the far side. Mayberry up with the loose ball towards the corner. He has the stick not clean out of his hands. CNU having some trouble with the ground ball as Mayberry pressures him. Pass goes free behind the net. Picked up by McGregor. He's going to launch this one down up over the head of his long stick, Pulaski. Hagen's having some trouble for the Maroons as he digs for it. Pokes it ahead. A nifty pickup on the play by Billy Christ as he moves in deep. Goal line extended. Pulls up now behind the net. As he passes this one off. Comes out towards the top. Adam Wade getting set up. Now sends it deep. To the near side for Billy Crest. 8:20 to go in the third. Roanoke up by 12 here in Christopher Newport. I'm Nick DeSantis with TJ Kemper.
CNU's offense slowing it down as they get a midi change here, but they really need to get moving if they're going to come up from this deficit of 12.
At the top, it's Myers now. As Myers tries to stutter in. Now feeds it for Glasser with an outside shot. Had a stick checked, and he launched that one up high.
Possession will stay with CNU on offense.
Captains bring this one in from X. Wrap the crease along the far side. Pull out towards the wing as it comes out towards the top. The near side now for Glasser. Glasser drives down the wing. DeLong steps in as the slide. Glasser turns back in the alley. Sends a pass up towards the top. That one off the tip of a stick. Maroons digging for it in traffic. Dubois comes up with it. Tried to avoid a check. Had the ball knocked free. Christopher Newport up with the loose ball as Coster steps in along the near wing. He gets a touch, bumped at by Worsina as he moves down around behind the net. Now rolls up goal line extended. Turns through X, looking towards the far side. Again stopping, comes up goal line extended. Feeds it all the way through. An outside shot, save made by Hardon. Hardon races for the end line. Possession will stay with Christopher Newport. Pulling the trigger again on that one was Glasser.
Roanoke's defense is very impressive right now. They're just manning up and making CNU beat their man if they want to get any shot at a goal, and they're having a lot of trouble with it.
Thompson comes up the far side. He has both of the captain's goals tonight. As he gives it down up at the top for Myers. Myers races down the near side, turns back. Left a pass behind his man in the middle. It'll make its way as Captain bounds by a CNU midi along the far side. Keeping that one in was Glasser in a great hustle play. To the top now Myers. Myers races in the near side. Higgins comes in the slide as it's fed down around behind the net. Taken there by Billy Christ. Steps around DeLong up the far side. Christ through traffic all the way through. Turnaround jump shot. A save made down low by Hardon. Rebound kick now towards the far corner. Hardon, the big fella after it. He's up with the ground ball. Hardon puts the brakes on. Now just whips that one ahead for Worsina. He stops at the sub box. Flips to keep it in play. And Coach Pilot took a timeout just as Worsina was about to step out of bounds. Or no, the official had signaled timeout. Apparently not. Worsina out. Possession awarded back now to Christopher Newport.
A little confusion on that, but I think the ref meant to do was call him out of bounds before Pilot could make the timeout call.
As the captain's racing along the near side of the box. Pasta steps around his man with a shot high and wide after it went off the stick apiece. The official says Christopher Newport closer with their man at X than DeLong was racing off the wing.
CNU's doing a great job of getting a lot of shots on goal and having a long offensive possession given, some of it was luck or some of it was penalties or whatever, but they've had a long offensive possession.
Absolutely. As Paco able to knock the ball free, Hardon comes out, plays it towards the far side. Hardon gives his man a nice bump for his trouble. DeLong up the loose ball, racing up the far side. Roker keep a midi back as DeLong races ahead. DeLong gets a touch, crosses over. Now goes to his left hand as he steps out of the box towards the top. Tried to lay a pass across for Carter. It was out of his reach. DeLong and Carter not on the same page. We'll get a horn as both teams will make some changes. Possession now back to Christopher Newport. So the captains will start on the near side, making a midi change.
You know, CNU is going to come up back from this 12-point deficit. They got to start taking advantage of these mistakes that Roanoke is making. You know, these just passes that go out of bounds. Now they have a great opportunity to get on offense and get a goal.
As McGregor launches that one up towards the sub-box. Looks like he had a stick checked on the play by Reed Mayberry. Now he looks towards the box with some sort of confusion between him and his mates.
And now Roanoke will get the ball right back.
Hayden will start with it just outside of the sub-box. Not pressured from the front or the behind. As Hayden steps into the box, plays this one down around behind. There's a new goalie in net now for Christopher Newport. Max Hargrove takes over in the crease. He relieves McGregor. Stepping in along the left side, Hayden sends it down around behind. To the near side. Out to the point now for Hayden. Hayden steps around his man. Through pass all the way across. Trying to go to work. Looking to move topside is Mayberry. He lost his footing, goes down, turns and fires. He scores. Reed Mayberry getting his second of the night, his 9th goal of the season. Mayberry through traffic, rolled to the inside and ripped that one. As he beats Hargrove 15-2. Your score under 5 minutes to go. In the third period, clock stopped at 4:58. Duval back down on the faceoff. Worsina and Doobie the wings. On attack, Rosano has come into the game for Jeff Keating, as it's Will Merritt who pops this one ahead off the faceoff X. Then he lost as he stepped into the box. Possession was awarded to the Maroons. As the ground ball taken by CNU along the far sideline, then they lost it. The official watching things closely as we have an illegal procedure call against the Maroons, rather against Christopher Newport. In traffic like that, probably something like stepping on the stick or playing with a free hand. It's the near side behind the net. It's Colin Rosano. Second attack unit now. Out for the Maroons of Guernsey, Rosano, and Duran. As cutting in is Merritt. He sends a pass down low. That one out of the reach of Chris Duran behind the net. Possession back now to the captains. Hargrave will start with it behind the net. Rosano on him. Hargrove fakes a pass long. Now launches this one up towards the sub box. It's taken there by Glasser. He stood up, pestered for his troubles.
Nice bounce pass handled by CNU. That type of athleticism definitely shows that they can compete with a team like Roanoke.
They trail this one by 14. 4 minutes to go as a shot. They score. CNU has answered. Racing through the middle there, it was Thompson. He's got another one. Thompson, the hat trick. He has all 3 captains' goals. Makes it 15-3. 4:05 to go in the third. That's just when Christopher Newport looked like they were going to get set up, work the ball around like they normally do. That one just ripped through the middle. Great cut there by Thompson.
Well, if you can catch the defense by surprise, you got to do it. And Roanoke's defense does work well in transition, but they're better in a slowed down type or when the opponents are in a slow down type offense.
As the Maroons will get set for the faceoff. Merritt was down to take it. Christopher Newport able to pop this one ahead. It's Ari Elgort. Elgort feeds the left side. The Maroon defense collapsed behind the back feed towards the near side. Winds up to no one in particular. Packo up with the ground ball. Another turnover by CNU. Packo ahead. Comes towards the near side for Dominic Guernsey. Guernsey looks towards the middle. Finds Hayden. Hayden feeds the crease. That one goes wide of the net. The officials call it a pass. Hayden trying to play it's a shot. That one goes wide. Taken behind the net now by Hargrove. As they look to start the clear. He'll float it to his long stick along the outside. Who takes that one on a hop. Roanoke coming in on the ride. Long stick steps past Duran. Now turns back. There's a pass in the middle. Having trouble with that was Hargrove. He's up with the ground ball. Hargrove looks to the near side. Launches it to the near. It's taken by Brad Piccolo. Across the restraining line, the near alley. Turns. Christopher Newport going to need a touch here shortly. As turning in the middle is Glasser. He steps in the box in his left hand. Glasser looked like he wanted to pull the trigger. Ingold bumped him, turned him away. Glasser feeds it out in the middle. An outside jump shot. Stave made down low on the play by Hardon as he denied Rob Coster. Hardon looking things over, launches it up the near side, taken by Ingold as he's across midfield on the near wing. Ingold goes inside as Hayden steps to the near side, now pulls things out. Waiting for his line mates as Roanoke will make a media change. Hayden bounces this one behind the net for Colin Rosano. Along now for Chris Duran. Back for Rosano. Nislek calling for it. Pass got tipped. Finds its way to Nislek, who's bumped as the ball hits the turf. Through pass all the way across for Smith with a shot. That one's going to be waved off. Illegal screen against the Maroons. It's going to be on Nislek from the near side as Nislek sat bumping his man after the play. Rather than throw a flag, with Roanoke on the offensive possession, the officials just saw it as a moving pick as Nislek bumped the man Hayden was trying to get around. On the clear, Christopher Newport, long stick from the near alley, launches it through the middle for Jake Myers. Myers pestered at midfield as he's able to step through. Myers gives it up now along the left side. DeLong out, hacking on his man. Down to the final 2:10 of the third period. The Maroons up 12 on Christopher Newport as DeLong and Nislek try and ride him out of bounds. They can't along the end line. This one fed out to the top, fed further for Myers. Myers from the near side puts the brakes on. Feeds goal and extended. Unable to handle the pass was Christ. Christ pestered now by Panacost. Over after it as well is Kyle Smith. Panacost goes down. Christopher Newport up with it as Christ feeds it out in front. An angle shot. That one got blocked out in front of the net by Glasser. Staying on the play by Pulaski. Long stick midi had originally come in. SNU thought they were going to lose it. A diving attempt to save the play for the Captains along the far sideline doesn't work. The ball trickles out of bounds. Possession back to the Maroons.
Yeah, CNU has been doing better on offense than they did in the first half. They're getting the ball on offense. They're getting some shots on goals. But Roanoke's defense is just playing really aggressive and really they're all on the same page. All the defenders. They know who's going to get the ball, who to slide to, and they're not giving CNU many chances to get shots on goal.
So the rain has started to fall again here at Kerr Stadium as Bracken on the clear from his own restraining line. Steps past one attackman and races ahead. Bracken gets a touch. Successful clear for the Maroons as he gives it up for Spencer Parsons. Parsons goes down around behind for Rosano. Along to the far side for Duran. Duran out to the top for Hayden. High pass. Hayden reaches up to grab that one. Hayden for Dubois coming out of the box. Has some trouble with the pass, but steps it on the near side. Sticking his left hand, winds and took the shot. He scores. No, it's off the side of the net. As that would have been some kind of placement for Dubois. He'd been able to fit that one in stick side high. As
looked like it hit Hargrove's stick and kind of went to the side. If he didn't make that save or at least tip the ball a little bit, that would have been in the net.
Comes back to the near side on the clear for Alex Elliott. Elliott steps across the timeline. Dubois coming over to pressure the long stick. He's forced to give it up. Captain's feet at the near alley for Thompson. He has all three CNU goals. Thompson, the freshman attackman out of Richmond. Thompson behind the net. Pushed out by Paco. As now he tries to feed it through the crease. Nobody home. The Captains, though, do come up with a ground ball along the far side of the field. 20 seconds left now in the third quarter. 15-3 your score. Myers from the near side. He'll dump it down around behind the net. CNU comes up goal line, extended, now plays it out to the near point. As Lehman's pass taken in the middle. Trying to roll back was Coster. He had the stick not clean out of his hands. 5 seconds left. As Dubois up with the ball. Finds Guernsey, who's unable to handle it. Pass down around his cleats. The horn sounds, and that'll do it through 3 quarters. We've played 45 minutes of lacrosse here at Kerr Stadium. Roanoke leading Christopher Newport 15-3. We'll step aside. Be back for our 4th and final quarter here at Kerr Stadium.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years,
with TJ Kemper as we get set for our fourth and final quarter. Rain still falling here at Kerr, wind whipping across the field. Hardon still in net for the Maroons. He has played well. Roanoke has a second attack unit in now. Chad Smith coming in for Guernsey. Smith joins Rosano and Duran. On the defensive end, DeLong still out for the Maroons with Panacost, but coming in off the bench is Bradley Mayer. Hardon still sits in goal for the Maroons.
We see Mike Hayden taking a faceoff. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen him take many.
I don't think I ever have seen Hayden take a faceoff. He's unable to come up with the victory, however. Ali Egort does. Egort winning 70% of his draw is really going to be a tough sell for Hayden anyway. As Walton rolls through the middle, looking things over, feeds the far side. As Christopher Newport gives it up for Glasser in the top right corner of the box. Glasser looking things over, has a man coming in off the bench. Walking the near side is Kyle Pasta. The midi out of Homestead, Maryland. Leaves this one for Myers coming in. Myers, a full head of steam, lost his footing as he tried to cut by Bracken. Wet turf, that will happen. A great check thrown there by Pasta, knocked the ball away from Bracken. Myers comes up with it. As it comes down behind the net. Christopher Newport trying to turn back with it as they sit at X. As Christ goes back and forth, now comes up goal line extended along the far side. Christ turns deep on Panacost, tries to cut the middle on his left hand with a shot. Great save made by Hardon up high. As behind the net, they're going to call it a pass. Possession will go back to Roanoke. The Maroons will start with it in the far alley. Panacost will get the clear rolling for the Maroons. As Panacost will send it in the middle for Drew Bracken. Bracken will get started up. Bracken approaching some trouble at midfield. Rolls back, moves towards the sub box, able to step through the 2 or 3 checks and the bodies as he now steps into the box. Bracken slowly and deliberately now dodges towards the middle. Finds Kyle Smith. Smith steps in, lowers the shoulder inside with a shot. Great stick save made up high on the play by Hargrove. Back outside with a shot from Nines, like that one sent high. Smith had a lane there to line up and shoot. He wanted to get a little bit closer. Was unable to get a shot away once he did get a shot away once he got in tight. But Hargrove read him all the way.
I mean, it was a good shot, but then you got the rebound, which allowed another shot for Roanoke. I mean, all these shots on goals, the more shots you have, the more opportunities you have for scoring.
As Bracken now with it at the top. He's covered by Miller. As he steps on his left hand, comes to the near side for Nislak, who turns around. Along the right side is passed down low for Duran, was in his cleats. He was unable to take it. CNU came up with the ground ball. The Maroons bumped the man down out of bounds. As Duran has some trouble with the ground ball, he's now up with it. Feeds the crease. Roanoke trying to hockey that one in. Unable to do so.
You definitely see more mistakes with the wet turf, the wet ball, and the wet mesh on the sticks. You know, it's harder to throw, pass, and move the ball around. Definitely see more mistakes when the rain started coming at the end of the first half.
Hargrove and his long stick play catch along the far side before he finds Myers, who steps past the attack all the way down. Christopher Newport into the box behind the net. Maroons able to knock the ball free. It's Patrick Bayer. Bayer, after it, kicks it to himself in the far alley, then has to go off his stick and out of bounds. Possession to stay with Christopher Newport. As we'll get a horn, Roanoke will make changes to their defensive midfield.
You know, Mike Hardon's played pretty much the entire game, this game, and he started and played until halfway through the fourth quarter against Hampton City with Roanoke's win 21-13. With Charles Peace only playing 6.5 minutes, I think, you know, Pilot was unsure of which goalie to put in, and I think he's made his decision with Hardon just playing every game, all game.
We saw the 2 trade places earlier on in the season as a shot comes wide off the near post by Glasser.
It was almost by halves, quarters, and then minutes. He was just switching him out all the time, and now Hardon is playing, 90% of the game at least.
When I talked to him yesterday, he had said, I can't put words in the man's mouth. Hardon is the starter today, and it looks like it's going to be his job until someone else comes in to take it. So whether that's Peace, we'll see. There's another outshot by Glasser as that one bounced wide of the net. Hardon is playing the best lacrosse of his college career. 15 saves with 12 goals against versus Hampton-Sydney on Saturday. Really a big number, as Hampton-Sydney has received votes in the poll while they're not in the top 20. A very good team that did give Roanoke a lot of trouble last season. Along the far side, Pasta. He's bumped, took a bounce shot, and a save made there by Hardon. On the outlet, he finds Eric DeLong. DeLong moving ahead with Ingold. DeLong steps in, gives it up for Ingold on the near side. Ingold sticking his right hand, fires. He sent that one wide. Actually, making the save on that was Hargrove.
Well, as far as Hardon being the goalie and for the starter for today, but not necessarily for tomorrow or the next day, that's a good mindset for Pilot to have. You shouldn't have a certain guy know that he's going to be in that position all the time. You should be fighting for that position constantly. That's what makes you better. That makes you a better person, a better player, a better team altogether. So if Hardon doesn't know if he's going to play next game, he's going to work a lot harder, I feel like, to keep that position he already has.
Well, it puts Pilot in that great situation, too, to have a guy like Charlie Peace, who last year put the team on his back and went to the NCAA semifinals. As Dubois tries to feed this one down around behind the net, Keating swats at it. He's able to keep it in bounds, but he launched it right into the crease where it's taken by Hargrove. Hargrove comes out along the far side. Starting attack now back in for the Maroons. As the clear comes up along the far side pass in the cleats of a captain at midfield. It's lost out of bounds. I believe that was Brett Keller. Possession will go back to Roanoke, as the Maroons lead 15-3, 10:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Spencer Parsons will start with it on his own half. Just in front of the sub box, he has Hayden in the middle, as well as Dubois ahead on the play. Parsons will drop it back for Hardon on his own restraining line. Hardon looks things over, goes up the left wing. He has Dubois. Dubois comes up, steps into the box.
We talked about Charles Peace's ability to come out of the net and clear the ball. I think Hardon's been doing a great job. He's one of the main reasons why their transitions are so easy for Roanoke. And he comes out of the net, as you saw right there, and got the ball across midfield.
As Dubois races in along the near side, he's bumped, looks behind the net, goes for Jeff Keating. Keating up the far side, took a shot upstairs, and a nice save made by Hargrove. As Hargrove fakes the pass long, still with it, now sent to the long stick in the far alley. Christopher Newport has had trouble on their clears today, as this pass taken on a bounce by Scott Holmes. Holmes ahead as Hayden bumps his man, trying to fight through his Aldridge. Aldridge caved it on his way down. A flag comes out, and it will be a penalty against the Maroons. So I believe they're going to get Doobie. Nope, it's Hayden. The Maroons will go to the man down. First man up opportunity of the second half. 9:52 to go in the fourth. Actually, penalties assessed to Reed Mayberry. 1 minute for slashing.
Unfortunate for Mayberry. He's been a huge asset on the offense today with 3 goals, a hat trick. It's huge.
Mayberry upping his season goal total now to 10. Mayberry transferred here a couple years ago after playing his freshman year at Salisbury. He's definitely been someone Pilot likes to have come off the bench. As aggressive penalty kill by Roanoke knocks that ball out of bounds. Doobie got a stick on the pass. This Roanoke penalty kill has been aggressive all night long. Only given up 1 goal and 3 chances. Rather 2 chances, this being the third. That's DeLong after his man behind the net. The captain's trying to feed it out in front. Geary got a stick on that to knock it away. Geary now up with the ground ball. He'll feed it in the crease for Mike Hardon. Hardon look to start the clear. That's DeLong racing ahead of the play. Packer, the safer option on the near side. He's going to go long. Goes in and out of the cross of DeLong. He's able to keep it along the far sideline. Puts the brakes on. Tries to protect his stick as he moves in the far alley. DeLong up through the middle. Launches it to the near side. Taken here by Rosano. Rather Chris Duran. Duran, the freshman, 2 goals this season. Roanoke already has a shorty tonight. Came from Jeff Keating back in the first. Part of an 8-0 first quarter for the Maroons. Under 9 minutes to play on this one. Roanoke up by 12. As Nislek feeds this one up the wing. It's taken there by Kyle Smith. Roanoke will control. Try and kill off the rest of the penalty to Mayberry. So the penalty has now expired. Back to even strength. And as Smith comes up, goes topside. Feeds the near side. Smith with a shot. He sent it high and wide. Kyle Smith feeding Chad Smith. Roanoke will keep possession, 8.5 to play.
Yeah, we've seen all season how Roanoke's ability to stop teams when they're man up is huge. Especially that one game against Lynchburg where we're down two men, and we stopped them from scoring. I mean, that's huge if you can do that. If you can play defense 4-on-6, you can play defense 6-on-6.
Smith wraps the crystal on the far side with a bounce shot sent wide. Chad Smith now from the near side. Smith finds Neislick. Neislick steps in and fires, put that one off the outside of the cage. Smith over after it and collides there with Hargrove. Smith wins that battle up with the ground ball, feeds Guernsey. Guernsey goes behind the net. Chad Smith racing, looks to feed in front. Got bumped, finds Neislick in traffic. He had his stick shot weakly in on Hargrove, who's easily able to handle it. Hargrove will look to start the clear, draws Guernsey, now dumps it off along the right wing. Plays catch with a long stick as now Hargrove has it back. Looks again up the right side. Guernsey playing him there. He's able to loft it over top of the sophomore attackman. As Christopher Newport steps past their own restraining line. Now back to the middle it goes for Hargrove. Hargrove has Aldridge at midfield. He goes up the wing. Here's the midweighting. Neislick bumps his man. He's able to stay on his feet. It's Christopher Newport moving ahead, trying for the successful clear. Doobie hacking at his man. A flag comes in. Delayed call coming up. As the ball hits the turf, touched up by the Maroons, and we'll get the whistle. Whether it be Doobie or Neislick, we'll wait and see the call. It is against Neislick. A 1 minute slash. CNU 1 for 3 on their man-up opportunities. Unable to capitalize on that last one as the aggressive penalty kill from Roanoke was able to knock the ball away twice before they cleared it.
Yeah,
Clock stopped at 7:18.
That's just how Roanoke's defense play. They're really aggressive on the ball. They do not let anyone have any room, especially on the perimeter, which is a bizarre type of defense where you're playing so far out. But I mean, it works for Roanoke, and it gives CNU a lot of trouble.
As Thompson tried to pass it to the near side, that went up and over everybody. The captain is trying to say it was tipped. The officials say no. Possession back to the Maroons. They'll have a chance to kill. Ingold will start with it in the near alley. As off the whistle, Ingold moves towards the middle. Watched by Thompson. Ingold able to split the attackman. Now races down the left side as he's going all the way across the field. Roanoke trying to kill off the rest of the penalty. Ingold in a full sprint. Looks like he's doing laps around the attack box. Ingold protects the stick as he's bumped, has the ball knocked free. Christopher Newport able to snag that one out of the air. It's Scott Holmes. Holmes, long stick in the near alley. Just gives it up for Brent Keller. Keller moving through midfield, feeds one ahead. As Ryan Duca feeds it in the box on the right wing. Christopher Newport will send this one down around behind. Time has expired on the penalty to Neislick as Doobie releases from the box. Both teams at even strength. 6:10 to go in the fourth. Roanoke still up by 12. As Thompson moves down the wing. He has all 3 CNU goals today. As the captains try and drive the far side of the crease, they're turned away. Good defensive work by Bradley Mayer. At the top, it's Ryan Duca. Duca steps on the near side now, crosses over down the right side. Hacked at by Doobie. Jump shot, scores! Which I believe 28, Greg Lehman, as opposed to 26. We'll give Lehman the tally and see what the official scores say at the table.
CNU now getting some confidence after that last goal. I mean, they're down by 11, but 5:44 left in the game. It's difficult to come back from that, but at least the confidence from that last goal helps out a lot, and it looks like there'll be a timeout.
Duca is given credit for the goal, his first of the night. That makes the score 15-4. 5:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside. Be back with you after this. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio.
Grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe.
Space the sophomore. Coming into this one at a similar time he did the last game, 5:44 to go. He played 6.5 in Saturday's game at Hampton-Sydney. Peace and 11.4 goals against average. A .492 save percentage. Merritt will go down on the face-off. As the goal credited, as I mentioned at the break, to Ryan Duca. As Ari Elgort will step in. As he moves down around behind. Christopher Newport will try and go to work on the offense. Roanoke kind of going deeper in their bench, giving some others the opportunity to play here late in the fourth quarter with a big lead. Lead sits at 11. Christopher Newport really has had trouble generating any kind of offense.
Well, allowing other people to play for Roanoke, especially Peace. I mean, when you have two goalies play against the same team, you really have stats that can compare. Whereas if you have one goalie play one game and the other play the other game, you can't really compare two separate games.
As much as you can compare them, CJ, and I do see that point, you have a second, third-team defense in now as Christopher Newport sends a pass up high and out of bounds behind the net. So if you have Peace going up with second-teamers in front of him, I think it's a little different than Hardon with that starting D. This Peace will start up from behind his own net. He'll just give it to Bracken in front of the crease.
That's true. I see your point. And Peace will have a few minutes to fight for his position as starting goalkeeper.
As Guernsey will come up with it in the far alley. Guernsey feeds this one down low. Chad Smith towards the front. Quick stick try, and that one bounced just high and wide of the net. It wouldn't go as Brewer had a great look in front. Guernsey knocks the ball free away from Christopher Newport and out of bounds behind the net.
Wow, the CNU defense just jumped on that one. He was right in front of the goal as the
Smith?
As Christopher Newport's goalie was out of the net almost, and the net was wide open. McGregor. Hargrove
into the game for McGregor. 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter. 15-4, the score. As Roanoke lost the ball out of bounds on the near side, Pasta will start from the near alley. And Pasta off the clear, launches this one into the middle, taken by the long stick. Scott Holmes, as he moves ahead, gives it up in the near corner of the box for Myers. As Myers gives it up for Pasta. Pasta cuts in from the top. Dodges towards the right side, swims to the left-handed shot. He scores. Put that one bottom left on Charlie Peace. That'll make the score 15-5. Under 4 minutes to play in this one. Clock stopped at 3:58.
Well, to be fair to Peace, you can't jump into a game and automatically be warmed up. I know you warm up on the side of the field, but that is not the same as playing 3-4 quarters pretty much as Hardon was playing. He was in the game, he was working, he was warmed up, truly. And Peace warmed up, but it's not the same as being in the game.
Pasta getting his 10th goal of the season. Good for third on the captain's squad as they scrum for the faceoff. Chase down towards the far side of the field, picked up by Pulaski. 3:45 to go in this one. Roanoke up by 10 on Christopher Newport. Stay with us post-game as we'll chat with Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot. Get his thoughts on the action tonight. Asking about going out to Norfolk to take on Virginia Wesleyan on Saturday. That's our post-game show. Stay with us here on 1240 a.m. and online as well at maroons.roanoke.edu. As Myers sits with it in the top right corner of the box, waiting on his mates as Christopher Newport making a midi change. Myers all the way out to the top. Races in as he steps past Merritt. Myers from the outside with a shot that's sent wide. He got buried on the play. Backed up by Christopher Newport. They'll retain possession.
That was a great driving shot by Myers, but Roanoke's defense really stepped up and put the hit on him as he took the shot there. Great defense by Roanoke as well.
That's from behind the net. Captains try and roll up along Hagens along the far side. Unable to get in. A quick shot in front. A save made up high by Peace on Coster. Ball free in front. That one hockeyed towards Peace. He's able to stick down and make that save as well. Peace goes for Hagens in the far alley. Hagens comes to the near side for Drew Bracken. Has to take this one on a hop. Bracken steps in the box along the near side. Stutters comes to the outside right hand with a shot and a stick save made on the play by Hargrove. As Roanoke will bring it in from behind the net, it's Chad Smith with 2.5 to play. A 10-goal lead for the Maroons.
Looks like Bracken will step off after that shot.
Roanoke going a little bit lower in their midfield unit. As Merritt tried to send a pass down behind the net, hoping to find Chad Smith with that one. It was out of his reach. Possession will go back to CNU. As Hargrove from behind the net just launches this one towards the sub box. A nice feed. These CNU goalies have really had success clearing the ball all night, as the captain's able to find the trailer. Let's look at the offense set up. Fed in front. Peace levels his man. He'll be called for the penalty as a flag comes in, but it was either take the man or take the goal. Peace elects to take the man. He'll head off.
Oh, it's just like a soccer goalie when he's one-on-one with a guy. He has to come out and take out that offensive player. That's what Peace did. He saw that he was wide open in the net, didn't want to take the chance of being able to read him, and just laid him out. Unfortunately, he got a penalty for it. And it looks like Hardon will come back out.
Peace waiting on the call from the sideline. It is an illegal body check. 1 minute. I believe it was going to be a 1 minute penalty. It is non-releasable, as they're going to say he made contact to the head. Christopher Newport chatting over their man-up opportunity. The officials beginning to count. It is a stalling warning unless the captains can come to the ball and get it in play quickly. And they do before the official runs out of time. 2:02 to go. Another man-up opportunity for Christopher Newport. Roanoke aggressive again on the penalty kill. As the captains get this one out towards the top. Try and feed it down low. Packo got a stick on that to knock it away. Hardon out of the net, comes up with the ground ball in the far alley. Hardon launches it towards the box, taken there by Braden Geary. Geary had 2 goals last game. Have to think he's won another one here. Geary feeds it goal line extended. Back for Geary. Turns in with a shot. He set that one just wide.
You don't see many fast break plays where the defensive player passes and he gets it back.
Gets it back.
For opportunity for the shot.
We're in the give and go.
I mean, you also don't see that many goalies getting penalties, but it's a crazy game.
That happens. As Duran hands it off for Bracken. Under 2 minutes to go, Roanoke has to keep it in the box. Clock down to the final 80 seconds. Bracken turns behind it. Hargrove will come out and try and double. Bracken sidesteps him as Hargrove takes a tumble behind the net. Bracken lowers his shoulder. He's not trying to go to the goal. He got tied up and forced there anyway. Knocked the ball free, and Christopher Newport tried to set a pass that taken by Guernsey. Guernsey steps in, feeds it in the middle with a shot. That one rang off the post. As Will Carter bidding for his second goal. He scored earlier on tonight. Carter came up with a ground ball, stepped out of the box. Possession will go back to Christopher Newport. 57 seconds left in this one. As Hargrove will just launch this one ahead. Picked off on the play by Carter. Carter racing in, has Guernsey in front. Carter for Guernsey. Behind the back, scores! Dominic Guernsey, his first goal of the season. 16-5 Roanoke, 46.6 to go as Guernsey took the feed, looked like he faked, and then kicked that one up over his back shoulder. Let's take a look at the replay.
Not a bad first goal of the season to have, Nick. That was very athletic, and he knew exactly what he was doing on that play.
As Carter fed it in front, go to the slow-mo. Yep, he just bounced it past him. Merritt will go down on the face-off for the Maroons. This one ahead by Elgort. Elgort with a shot and a save made down low by Peace, who's back in the game after his 1 minute illegal body checking penalty. Peace to the far side for Doobie. Doobie will go pole to pole for DeLong along the near wing. DeLong whips this one ahead. Taken by the long stick midi Chicklin. Chicklin steps in the box. 20 seconds to go. Chicklin just tried to shove that one towards the middle as he was forced back out of the box. Illegal procedure against the Maroons. Possession now back to the captains. As Pileski drops it back. Down to the final 15. Pileski has this one again at midfield. As he steps towards the inside, looking things over, rolls back towards the near side. Duran creeping up behind him as he gets a pass away. As Limon lays it off along the right side. Time winding down. 3 seconds now, 2 and 1. The horn will sound. And that'll do it for play tonight here at Kerr Stadium as the rain continues to fall here in Salem. Roanoke's record improves to 6-3 on the season in this non-conference matchup, while Christopher Newport falls to 3-5. Roanoke back in action on Saturday at Virginia Wesleyan, then at Washington and Lee, before returning home for their final homestand against Randolph-Macon, and Guilford to close out the month of April. TJ and I'll step aside. Stay with us for the postgame show as we'll be back, go over our final stats, take a look back on the 60 minutes of lacrosse. We'll go back, take a look, too, at our keys to the game and see how well we called those, and chat with Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. Stay with us. We'll be back. All right, Ashley, we're ready after this. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium in Salem as we wrap this one up. 16-5, the final score. The Bruins defeating the captains of Christopher Newport. Roanoke outscored CNU 8-0 in the first, 4-2 in the second, 3-1 in the third. They were outscored by the captains 2-1 in the fourth quarter. Goal scoring for Christopher Newport. John Thompson finished with 3. Pasta and Duca each added 1, while Kristen Glasser added helpers for CNU. The Bruins today led by Joey Coretti. as the senior finished with 6 goals and an assist. Reed Mayberry added 3 goals, while Keating and Hayden each finished with 2. Will Carter, Connor Dubois, and Dominic Guernsey tallied 1. A host of Maroons getting assists in this one, including Carter, Coretti, Dubois, Hayden, Keating, Mayberry, Neislick, and Spencer Parsons. The Maroons outshot the Captains 45-33. Won the ground ball battle 47-41. Really, the only statistical category that the Maroons did not come up successful in was faceoffs, where Christopher Newport won 18, Roanoke won just 7. Roanoke's ride forced 3 failed clears by the Captains, while the Maroons were 24 of 25, advancing the ball 9 for 9 in both the first and fourth quarters. CNU just 1 for 5 on their extra man opportunities. TJ, Mike Hardon finished today with a great game. He allowed 4 goals, made 13 saves. Peace came in at the end, allowed 1 goal, made 2 saves. Do you think Hardon has just echoed the coach's praises in being the starter?
Hardon did have a great game today. I mean, it's hard to compare the two because Peace played for a couple of minutes, most of which he was in the penalty box for. So, I mean, it's hard to compare the two. Hardon did have a great game. I think he does deserve the starting position, but I think he still has to keep working hard at it because Charles Peace is a great candidate for it as well. As you said before, last year he went to the ODAC and did with the team on his back.
Went to the NCAA semifinals.
Led the team there, so he is a great leader, a great player. But Hardon's playing great, and he's a big guy. He can clear the ball, he can save. He's a great leader on the defense. So I mean, he deserves the position. It's hard to compare.
Looking back at our keys to the game, the first one was that Roanoke wanted to play Roanoke Lacrosse, and it really looks like they did just that. They forced turnovers by Christopher Newport, and Roanoke ran in transition.
I mean, dominating Roanoke Cross. I mean, you just got to dominate the statistics, dominate, I mean, everything pretty much. They always do, too. They had more shots on goal. They had more ground balls. They had better clear percentage. And, I mean, one big statistic that I look at is extra man opportunities. Christopher Newport had 5 and only succeeded on 1. That Roanoke defense is out of control. The one area I didn't see Roanoke succeed in by dominating their style is faceoffs. They only won 7 out of 25 when CNU won 18 out of 25. This is not like Roanoke. They did make up for it by, CNU had 31 turnovers, Roanoke had 17. So they did get the ball back on offense and they were able to score more. But that faceoffs, I mean, they can't lose that many faceoffs and think that they're going to go win the championship this year. They have to start looking at this stuff. Satowski had a pretty bad game early. He was 0 for 3 or whatever, and then he stopped playing or he got hurt. And then Dubois, it was just a mess with the faceoffs, but they could definitely do better. Everything else though looked great. They dominated their style. Focusing on today is the second key to the game, and just look at the statistics, and they definitely did. I mean, the final score 16-5. I mean, they definitely focused on this CNU team. They did not let them out of their sights the whole time. It did not seem like they weren't there to play at all. They were definitely respected the team. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. Focusing on today, they definitely accomplished that. Also, helping on D was the third key to the game. Our 3 defenders, Paco, Panicos, and DeLong. I mean, DeLong is a big guy, but Paco and Panicos really aren't. But they have great stick skills. They know where to be and when to be. They know how to stick check correctly, and they put the hits on people, even though they're not that big. So combining all 3 of them, they definitely were able to pretty much silence the CNU attack line. They only had 5 goals all game, and and I also said Geary would be out there and making great plays, and he did, man. He made some phenomenal plays. He had a shot on goal too, and he had a great game.
Geary came up with 4 ground balls. That's third on the team behind DeLong and Connor Dubois. TJ and I will step aside, be back to chat with Coach Pyle and wrap things up here from Kerr Stadium. Stay with us. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium in Salem. Nick DeSanctis here with Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot. Coach, you guys outscored Christopher Newport 8-0 in the first quarter. That really set the tone and put them in a hole that I don't think they were going to climb out of en route to that 16-5 victory.
Yeah, it's a good way to come out. You know, you want to come out hard on your home field. I was glad the boys did that. We really kind of dominated that quarter. I mean, we outshot them big time, and that's a good thing. And, you know, we like to come out hard, so I was pleased to see that. We talked about that all week.
Against Hampton-Sydney, your team was really able to run the field and play Roanoke-styled lacrosse. Do you think you guys were able to do that well tonight?
At times. I mean, Christopher Newport really likes to slow it down on offense, which they did. And we put the ball on the ground a lot. We just didn't pick it up fast enough. We're still working on ground balls. It's still something that's hurting us. It's going to eventually lead us into trouble, I think, if we can't pick up that ball on that defensive end. We harp on it. We work on it. But we got to pick up more ground balls.
Another trouble that's obvious on the stat sheet, you guys have kind of survived with it this season, though, has been at the faceoff X.
Yeah, been up and down. You know, Max has done a good job. He hurt his knee a little bit tonight, so we kept him out, and we tried some new guys. I mean, Merritt did pretty well, but a lot of it goes to the wings, too. I thought their wings outplayed our wings, and we got to work on that. We've been working on it. We just got to keep working on it.
And their extra man opportunities, they went 1 for 5. The only goal coming in the second. They were 0 for 3 with their man up in the fourth quarter, though your team didn't even have a man-up opportunity.
Yeah, we would have liked to have man-up. We practice it every day, but there wasn't a lot of fouls in the game, so I guess it was a good, clean game. I thought they could have had a couple called on them, but we didn't get any chances to go man-up, so we'll keep working on it this week. And man down, I thought, played pretty well. 1 for 5 is fine. We just got to keep working hard on that end, too.
Joey Coretti really stepped up in this game, finishing with 6 goals, upping his season goal total now to 22. He's really helping to push really a top attack unit. Yeah,
Coretti, we know he's a great player, and he's playing better and better. I think he's had like 2, 3, 4, and now 6 the last 4 games, so we're real happy with him. And, Rich Laughlin's out. He had to attend a funeral for his family, so we missed him tonight, and it was great to see Joey step up for him.
And Mike Hardon in goal allowed 4 goals, playing deeper on into the fourth quarter tonight. Piece coming in with just under 6 minutes remaining. Hardon made 13 saves. Really a great effort.
Yeah, great job by him. He's a good clearing goalie. He made some great saves. Stuffed them when we missed a slide here and there, and then kept them low on the scoreboard, which is great. And then got our transition going too.
On defense, Christopher Newport looked like they really had some size. All around, they're really just a tall, big team. How do you think your defense was able to match up with them?
I thought we did a pretty good job. We've been working a lot on angles, pushing out on angles and taking good angles under control. And I thought we did fairly well on that. And they got some good, talented players. Number 2 is a real quick kid, and they got some good, strong attackmen, some big boys, like you said. And I thought we played within ourselves. We also did a lot of sliding, which is good. Some games we slide a lot, some we don't. Tonight was one we wanted to slide a lot, and I thought the boys did pretty well.
Now, when you sit down to watch the game tape tomorrow, is there anything that you think you're going to want to focus on when you get out to the field for practice?
Still just the same things. Ground balls are key. I mean, we got to work on that. We got to pick up the GBs more and more. But I saw a few guys did well. DeLong had 5. That's good for him. And, of course, DuBois had 6, which is always good. And Braden has his usual few. But we need the other guys picking them up, too. So it's the same continued work we want to do.
We saw Braden Geary tonight play a lot of long stick midi. We saw him come up past the restraining line a few times. Do you think he may have found a nice niche as a long stick midi, or do you like seeing him close instead?
Boy, he's really good at long stick, so we've been doing that. He's causing a lot of mayhem up there, so we did that exclusively against Hampton-Sydney, and I see that continuing for a while.
On Saturday, you guys travel out to Virginia Beach to take on Virginia Wesleyan, a team that you haven't lost to in a very long time. What are your thoughts on Saturday going into a game with the Marlins?
Well, there's a lot of teams we haven't lost to in a long time. But they're a good team. They're a good team. They're well coached, and they're tough, gritty kids, and they always play tough at home, so we're expecting a tough game. We got to be ready. They're going to give us their best, and we need to respond in the same manner. If we don't, they'll take us down. So I think they're an underrated team, and they've got some real talented players that we need to be ready for.
Coach, thanks so much for coming up and chatting with us. Congratulations on the victory.
Thanks, Nick.
We'll be back with our webcast on Saturday as the women's lacrosse team back here at home to take on Guilford. That game is scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. We'll be back here on 12:40 a.m. with Maroons Tuesday Night Live coming up on Tuesday night, live from Mac and Mom's Restaurant in Salem. You can come see the show live at the actual restaurant in Salem. You can watch it online at maroons.roanoke.edu on a tape delay on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7, and listen right here on 1240 AM, ESPN in Virginia. Thanks to Roanoke Sports Information Director Brad Moore, our technical director here in the press box, Reed Hall. Thanks so much to Ashley back in the studio. For TJ Kemper, I'm Nick DeSanctis saying so long from Salem.